Joining us now live from our New York studios is filmmaker D.A. Pennebaker. His highly acclaimed documentary, Don't Look Back, chronicled Bob Dylan's 1965 tour of England with Joan Baez. This trend-setting film was a precursor to the rockumentaries of today's films. Couldn't help but thinking back on our earlier in the show, seeing Bob Dylan, seeing him there in 1965. Mr. Pennebaker, welcome to Showbiz Today. We heard a couple of people comment that they don't like the term rockumentaries. What's your feeling on it?
Well, it's just a word. Doesn't help me much one way or the other. I mean, it wasn't my word, so I can't object to it, but I hesitate to classify my films.
Yeah, so you wouldn't consider yours a rockumentary?
Not particularly.
Have you seen... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, if it helps somebody understand it, I guess I couldn't complain.
Have you seen any of the films we mentioned, the current film, Sting's new movie?
I haven't seen that, no, but I certainly have seen Gimme Shelter.
Mm-hmm. How's the style changed from your film? Or is there a style, let's put it that way?
Well, I think the style depends a lot on the person you're filming. Some performers perform more easily than others, and it's easier to... in a sense, to get a kind of theatrical performance out of them. Others, you have to badger them or interview them or whatever. I think it depends a lot on the different performers.
Would you consider the film you did on Dylan in '65 more for entertainment, or were you trying to get a message across as a documentary would?
No, I was trying to put something down for history.
What about the films that are out now? Do you think they will document, or do you think, like Sting's, would you consider it something that would document history?
Well,
again, I know you said you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so it's really hard to comment. But I think the history really depends more on the performer than it does the filmmaking. I mean, who's interested particularly in a filmmaker per se, unless the work he does somehow also goes into history. But a performer may or may not have historical significance. It's really hard to tell in advance. I mean, that's always what surprises you, is what laughs and what doesn't.
When you see a film like Gimme Shelter or Woodstock or your film, yes, it does go down into history, but should that be what the filmmaker looks for? Should he make a film that will be around?
Well, I think he should think about that. I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but that's one of the reasons you make a film, is to tell people about something that happened. And I guess I see not just being able to tell a lot of people at the same time, but the possibility of being able to tell people over a long period of time. I mean, the two are, either is just as interesting.
Okay, Mr. Pennebaker, thank you for joining us. Showbiz Today.
Welcome.
Liz.